Welcome to Turbo John's racing page, where we break them, fix them, and break them again. So today we're over here working on the heads. We're going to get these things taken apart, get them so that we can get them welded up. Actually, I'm going to weld some. I'll probably get Richard to weld some. We'll go ahead and order the valves and get everything going. Hopefully we'll have this thing all together the next week or two at least. Piston should be here. I got that ordered. Piston should be here in a week or two. So the motor, I'll probably go ahead and put the motor back together in the next couple days. So tonight we're going to be focusing on these heads. Okay, so this is the head that was off the driver's side. It's not in bad shape at all. I just went in there with a little side grinder and cleaned these little burr spots up here. And you can see where the gasket is all the way on this outside edge. So it all stayed, within the confines of the bore. So, I mean, it's not bad. And this is the head that I had welded up last time. You can see there's a little bit of porosity there. This is the one where I don't remember if I was doing videos or not last time I had the major blow up. Actually, it may be in the major blow up before that one. Man, we break stuff all the time. It's just crazy. But one of the blow ups, it destroyed this chamber, and like I had to completely re-weld this and rebuild it all. It was completely demolished. This little bit here, I was going to weld it up, but I mean, it's not terrible. It is one of those things that when I resurface the head, I'm gonna go ahead and get them to take off about 10 thousandths. Most of that stuff is popped up, so it's going to be fine. It's not going to be an issue. So we're going to resurface this head. I'm going to take the valves out of this one. The little pieces of valve guide, or not valve guide, it had the little pieces of valve seat get over here and smack around a little bit. So that's what caused that. But this one's not bad shape at all. So this is the head. We're going to take those couple valves out. I'm going to take all the intake valves out. So check this out. Okay, so that's interesting. So this one on the back or the front, that was on the, I don't remember which number it is, but check this out. Get the guide down in there. The guide is broken off. That is the only one that is like that. This one down here looks like it may be cracked down in there. So we might just take the intakes all seem to be fine. Of course, the intake's not going to get near as hot. The intake's not going to get near the heat as the exhaust. So we may just go ahead and on the exhaust side, cut those up, flush with the port. And that way they're not hanging down into the port. I know it's supposed to give, I'm not really worried about flow, but I know it's supposed to give support to the actual valve itself. But the issue is, I mean, I don't know how strong that is. And I see people do it both ways. I know there's a lot of machine shops that say you got to have these things extended down in there to support the valve. Otherwise, the valve will flop around. I might just cut them off. I'm going to talk to Richard and see what he thinks. And see, we'll go with what his best judgment is. That one right there, that one's cracked. The only issue, my major issue that I have a very nice forced inductions turbo. If those guides are breaking off like that, if there's a chance it's going to break off and that's going to go through the turbo, I'm not very happy about that. I don't want that to happen at all. So most likely those are going to get ground down. All right, let's take the other one apart. Okay, so this is the head. This is the valve that didn't want to play well with the others. So overall, though, the head's, man, it's not in bad shape at all. I mean, there's a couple little spots here, where a couple little chunks have gotten in there. All that stuff's going to be fine, though. I mean, that's just going to simply get machined. Same thing right here. I mean, that stuff's not going to hurt anything. There's no cracks or anything, so when it gets surfaced, it's going to be good. This one, actually, believe it or not, is not beat up terrible. As bad as what it could have been. A little bit of sand roll in there, and that's no problem. This one, on the other hand, so what happened is a piece, there was like an inch long piece. This valve broke in two. It broke here, and then it come up and broke again. And that piece ended up over here. And that's the one that, this is the cylinder that got really beat up. But I mean, there again, I mean, that's just going to take just a little bit of time with the welder. I'm going to grind that down, and I'm going to weld all this back up, build it up, and then let Richard surface it. I'll probably let Richard weld in here just because I don't know exactly. I don't want to build it up too much. Let's see if I can get this thing out. Okay, so that thing popped right out. I just grabbed my pliers and grabbed it, and it popped right out. So you can see, I mean, that's a pretty gnarly break. I mean, it doesn't look like it was tuliping. I mean, these are undercut valves, so it's a little thinner there. So I don't know if that was the issue or not. And the seat, the radius is beat up. We'll check that spring and stuff. Down in the pocket though, I mean, it's not terrible at all down in there. Yeah, I'm gonna let Richard weld that up. I don't want to overdo it or underdo it and cause any issues. So I mean, I think it's good. I think we're gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal to repair, luckily. Okay, so let's go ahead and take these completely apart, and then I'm gonna weld on this tonight and go ahead and get that done. Okay, so this one's apart. Had to smack this one out, but you can see this one, it broke right at the undercut part. So I really don't know. I mean, that's probably where it broke. I'm sure it probably fractured right here where it got, where the undercut part of the stem was. And you can see these valves are, they're undercut for a little bit better flow. I don't know that I'll be going back with the undercut type of design anymore though. I mean, you know, it could have just been freak, it could have just been bad, but my exhaust valves are not like that. So the exhaust valves are solid the entire way, the 11/32. And these are big valves. That exhaust valve is going to be fine, as long as it's not bent. I don't think it is though. It does not look like it. So I'm gonna weld this up. We'll take this. I'm gonna let Richard, like I said, weld down in here. It's gonna need a new valve seat on the exhaust and the intake side. So I'll let him weld all that up, what needs to be welded, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, let's go grind this down and weld it up real fast. And something else I'm going to do, I've got, you know, a couple people have mentioned something about spring pressures. These springs are fairly new. These are 1226s. So I'm going to take those and put them on Richard's machine so that I can check the spring pressure on the seat and open pressure. It doesn't look like I've got a failed, I mean, there's not a the inner spring's not broken or anything. The damper's, you know, still there. Everything seems to be fine. The outer spring's not broke. So they'll probably be fine. I'll just double check, make sure we didn't lose control of it, because, you know, they're right. If you start bouncing the valve on the seat, when you lose control of it, then that's going to, you know, cause a whole lot more stress. All right, let's weld this thing up. All right, so the little bit of welding that I was doing is complete. This over here went super easy. It's really hot right now. Woo, that thing, we could cook an egg on it. I wonder why. We just had 180 amps going through it with the TIG welder. There again, I'm not a good TIG welder. We were able to piece it together. I did do some repair work on this port. It may be good enough once Richard gets in there and tries to cut it open. We'll see if he needs to add any more. But I did get down there and, you know, fix some of it. That was, I thought, what would take the most time, since I want to, you know, hopefully he can get through kind of fast. Like I said, that one's going to need, for sure, it's going to need 2 seats. You can see the exhaust seat on that one is, Richard's going to have to, I tried to get up close to that, but he's going to have to build that up once I started getting close to that exhaust seat, it just the aluminum started falling away. So he's gonna have to knock that seat out and then build up that little bridge in between the intake and the exhaust so that he can get everything squared away. None of the guides on this one are hurt except for that intake one. So all the other ones are good. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I've definitely had worse blow-ups. Hopefully this will be the last blow-up for a little while. Not holding my breath, since our motto seems to be break it, fix it, and break it again. It seems like we're never running for extremely long periods of time. But even though we use backyard stuff and we do backyard style repairs, and but you can see even the high-end people, they tear stuff up all the time. They just spend a lot more money than we do. So, but it is what it is. Not saying I'm doing it the right way. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that say I should throw these heads in the trash and start over, but my budget does not allow for me to do that. So Brian's got a handy dandy TIG welder, and we weld them up and keep on getting it. And so don't forget, we got a date on our t-shirts. More t-shirts will be in, I think it's October 2nd or 3rd. So y'all keep an eye on the store, and y'all order some shirts if you don't mind. Appreciate it. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe again. See y'all good next time. Go fast and get some win lights. Thanks.